Hey man, what it is, this is Dame, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go the Cash App. Show your boys some love. Y'all know I'll be working hard. Hit that like button as well. There go to PayPal. Y'all see that heart with the dollar sign at the bottom? Well, that's the super chat. You could press that at any time your heart desires. Say it with me, y'all. I don't care if you leave $1, $10, $1,000. I'm still waiting on that $1,000. It's much, much, much appreciated, y'all. I want to talk about the biggest fraud in boxing, period, with Devinhaney coming in a close second. But Teofimo Lopez by far is the biggest fraud in boxing. It's not even close. And if you do want to argue about it, I would love to, especially once I start going live again. Y'all know how I give it up. I might go live tomorrow morning just for all of you Earthmen. Teofimo is not fighting Devin. He turned down the Sabril Matias fight. He called out Gervonta Davis, Jerron Ennis, and Terrence Crawford. He said the only three fights that he wants is Gervonta Davis, Jerron Ennis, Terrence Crawford. He's fighting none of them. Hasn't even sent the offer to any of them. Hasn't even went to negotiations with any of them. And then now he's back again out here on Twitter. Him and Gervonta Davis going at it, using Gervonta Davis' name again because nobody cares about T.O. And the part that makes me even madder is that a lot of y'all, especially y'all black men and black women, got so much energy for Gervonta Davis, but y'all don't make videos, comment, or say anything about Teofimo Lopez. He could say the N-word and y'all don't even care. It's still tank, 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 tank. And that's the part that bothers me more than anything. Absolutely, that's the part that bothers me more than anything. He can call out any and everybody, do interviews. He went on a whole rant for 2 months about Terrence Crawford and Gervonta Davis just to fight neither one of them or even try to fight him. Only fight we heard about, kinda, they was talking about was him and Jerron Ennis, and as you seen, that went nowhere. As you've seen, that went absolutely nowhere. Teofimo Lopez is the biggest fraud in boxing, and I don't even want to argue about it. If y'all not gonna make videos talking about how much or how fraudulent he is, then T.O.'s definitely gonna know who Deem is, because there's no way he's gonna be able to type his name in one of my videos don't pop up. Teofimo Lopez, you are a complete idiot. I think you are a racist. I think you are very immature. I think you are very uneducated. I think you are a follower. I think you corny as they come. You even cornier than Ryan, because it's one thing when somebody's corny and they don't even know they corny. But you so corny because you really be trying not to be. Makes it even worse. It makes it even worse. And you're not even fighting Ryan Garcia. On top of that, the one fight we would let you get away with, you're not even fighting him. And don't tell me that you can't set it up, because just because Ryan Garcia can't do nothing boxing related don't mean he can't make fights happen that is boxing related. His suspension is up April 20th, 2025. He can definitely start talking about fights the next day. Ryan Garcia could fight the next day if he so chose to. Teofimo Lopez needs to be ashamed of himself, because how many years are you and Devin and a bunch of y'all other fighters going to continue to live off of Gervonta Davis, Terrence Crawford name? How much longer are y'all going to be able to do that? It's been about, I don't know, about 4 years now, about 4 or 5 years. And Teofimo Lopez has been living off of Gervonta Davis' name. Meanwhile, it's not in his division. Meanwhile, was plotting on moving to 147. Meanwhile, was calling out everybody else and wasn't sending offers, wasn't even trying, was actually suing his own promoter. See, T.O. is such a fraud because he told the world how bad Bob Arum was and how much he hated being over there and how much he was tired of the business just to re-sign with him and say nothing but great things about Top Rank. That's when you know that that guy is truly a fraud. And it's unexcusable, and y'all going to let him get away with it. And I get it, but I'm not going to do that. Same way I ain't about to let Devin get away with it with this interview that I saw, watching my man Knockout Boxing channel. Because I've been so busy lately, y'all. It's been hard to catch a lot because I've really been busy making them donuts, doing, put it like this, y'all. Y'all would be very proud of me. I've been very, very productive, is what I'm going to say. But besides that, certain stuff just don't miss me, though, at all. It's hard, it's too hard, too. How long is y'all going to continue to let Teofimo Lopez get away and then say that he got the best resume, but he ain't got to fight nobody? Y'all be sitting up there telling me, Dean, he got the best resume out of everybody, but he ain't fighting none of them, though. He's not even fighting the best guys at his own division. Stop talking to me about Gervonta Davis and Shakur and Devin, or even if you want to say Devin, or whatever. He's not fighting him either. He's not even fighting the best guys at his own division. He was talking about fighting Terrence Crawford and Jerron, and that is a 54 pounder, a 147 pounder, and hasn't even tried to fight any of them. Oh, don't y'all forgot about Brian Norman Jr., right? That he was supposed to be challenging Brian Norman Jr. for the WBO belt. Oh, my fault. That's somebody else he wasn't fighting. And I guarantee you, Brian Norman Jr. would have took that fight. Why? Because I truly believe Brian Norman Jr. would have thought he could have beat Teofimo Lopez. Absolutely, I think Brian Norman thinks he could beat Teofimo Lopez. Why he wouldn't take the Boots fight is much more different than why Brian Norman Jr. I ain't never heard Brian Norman Jr. turn down that fight. Ain't it funny that fights people actually want? You don't hear all of this chatter. They ain't got to be on the internet. You don't hear Brian Norman Sr. was going all over the internet. He wasn't talking about Teofimo Lopez now, was he? And that was something that was very realistic. Just like Teofimo Lopez is doing currently right here, right now at this moment. Publicly talking about other boxers, but the actual boxer he's going to fight, he's probably not saying anything about it. There's going to be a fight that we don't need. There's going to be a fighter we didn't even talk about Teo fighting. Guaranteed. Teofimo Lopez needs to be ashamed of himself. Anybody who supports Teofimo Lopez needs to be ashamed of themselves. He is a cancer to the sport. He is he's a malcontent. I truly think that Teofimo Lopez's biggest goal in life is to be a contrarian, and I just think that Teofimo Lopez enjoys more being a menace than he does actually trying to be the best boxer he could possibly be. I truly, truly believe Teofimo Lopez doesn't care about being the best boxer he could possibly be. You want to know why I say that? Because then his boxing career wouldn't be like a roller coaster all the way down to his performances. Somebody that takes their profession seriously, you don't see big dips from performance. Even if their performances aren't exactly the same, one ain't too much different than the other, though. Even if they're not exact. You cannot say that about Teofimo Lopez. You literally do not know what type of Teofimo Lopez is you going to get. Is he going to walk you down and have his hands up and really be trying to box and use his footwork? Or is he going to be playing in a ring and have his hands down and be only looking for power shots? Is he going to actually be defensive and counter punch and actually use his boxing prowess? Or is he going to be careless like he was against Steve Cuglet and had his whole face looking like he got stung by 10,000 bumblebees? Which one are you going to get? Again, but y'all not going to criticize T.O. Y'all going to let T.O. slide, let him go through the cracks. Y'all going to let him, do whatever it is that he does. But he can call out everybody, call them the N-word, do all that with the black fighters, make bad black comments about the community, even admit that he only does this to get attention, to get those guys to fight him, but then doesn't even try to fight him. He's the biggest fraud in boxing, and I don't want to hear about it. I would never be a Teofimo Lopez fan, and even though I'm going to watch and cover all of his fights because he is one of the names in the sport, but I could never be a fan of him. I don't care if he beats Tank, Shakur, Devin in a row. He could beat Bud, Crawford, Boots, Tank, Devin, Shakur in a row, and I would not be a fan. I would definitely give him his props. Call him the best. I would do all of that. And still won't be a fan. See, y'all, when I'm people like him, see, I don't like devinhaney, but I don't dislike Devin in a personal way. It's the things they do inside of boxing that I dislike, that makes me dislike Devin, because they do a lot of lying, capping, and frauding. Tio is somebody I wouldn't like in real life. What I mean is, if I seen Devin or seen Bill, I wouldn't be disrespectful to him. I probably laugh and joke with him and talk trash with him. Tio is somebody I know I really wouldn't even try to speak to, take a picture with, try to have a conversation with. He's somebody I know I wouldn't like in real life. Like in real life, he's somebody I wouldn't even want around me. If I went to let's say Tio fight Devin, and they said, Dean, Teofimo Lopez want to talk to you, I would not go talk to him. If devinhaney asked to talk to me, I would go talk to Devin. Tio, we literally have nothing to talk about, because it's only going to get met with disrespect. It's only going to get met with me saying something that I know he's not going to take kindly to, but I can't be fake. Sorry. I would tell Tio straight to his face, I don't rock with you, and I think you're a racist, and I think you're a piece of you know what. I truly believe that. And I'm going to be honest, I think behind the scenes, and this just is my opinion, I can't put no facts to this, I also think behind the scenes he don't treat women the best. That's just an opinion that I have. I ain't saying I'm an angel, and I'm the best treater of women, but I definitely know I ain't. We'll leave that at that. Y'all already know what this is, though, right? Deem by any means. And I holla at y'all.